Hey, what's up everyone? Brian here. Hey, today I want to talk about the Tenkara USA fly fishing setup that I use. The reason why I use this is that it's super lightweight and it's also extremely compact. And so with the way that I live minimally, with not having a lot of space in my vehicle, it doesn't make sense for me to carry a ton of fishing gear. So when I first hit the road, I had a lot more fishing gear than I do now. Now I've pared it down to just two of these telescoping Tenkara rods. This one telescopes out to 10 feet, 10 inches. I've got another one that's actually two different sizes. It can go 9'6" or 12'10". But you can handle up to like a 2-foot fish with this, like a 2-foot trout, no problem. I've got pictures, which I'll put up, of some really awesome cutthroat that I caught last year on one of the adopted trails that I used to run over in the Leadville area. And I caught it with this rod. And so it's really great because this one, I think this one weighs 2.5 ounces, if I remember correctly. And it's just, it comes in this little padded little carrying case thing, but this is what the rod looks like. Tenkara USA, that's the company. Met those guys at the Outdoor Retailer Show. They're pretty solid. They're based out of Boulder. They make great gear. Been using the Tenkara USA setup now for quite some time. But you simply just pop the cap here, and you always want to make sure you put this in your pocket. And then this telescopes out, and so you've got your end here, which that's what you tie the fixed line to, and you telescope it out and you're good to go. I can set up within about 30 seconds and be fishing, which is great. Now sometimes I carry this with me. Most of the times though I don't, because if I've got my waders on, which I do right now, I got this nice little chest pouch, and so with that chest pouch, what I'll do is I'll carry my car keys, and then I'll carry the Tenkara fixed line. And so what this is an actual spool, to where you see here I've got my fly, and it's actually attached to the tippet, which is then wound into the two channels that are in this little spool. And then I've got my fixed line attached to it as well. So what I can do is I can just attach this to the end of the Tenkara rod where you saw that string come out. There's a simple little loop knot you put on there, and then you zip this out real quick and you're fly fishing. So I like that for the high country. There's obviously limitations with it. You're not going to have the range that you would having a fixed line. This is 13 feet plus 6 feet of tippet, so 19 feet of radius around you that you've got to work water. But what I've done now is it's taught me to be a lot more quiet when I approach the water, because I'm not casting out as far. And so I've got to really be careful and go like stealth mode when I go up to fly fish. And so it's been great. It's kind of like, it's made me a lot more mindful of any noise that I make when I'm out there, and also to really not get in any of the way of being visible to the fish. And so I like this style of fly fishing. I mean, I can legitimately just go with this if I wanted to, because I've got the fly on here, I've got the fixed line attached, then I've also got this little pouch right here, which has a little hopper pattern, but that you can put additional flies in there. And then if you want, on one of the two channels here, you could put additional tippet line. You could put like 10 or 15 feet, and that way you really could go out for a while, as long as you're not landing monsters and snapping line every other time and losing flies. You could go out all weekend with that. So I like this sort of setup. It's simple. It's also affordable. This rod, if I remember correctly, was $150, and that's everything, because you don't need a reel with it. The fixed line is, I think, like $15 or something like that. So it's pretty cheap. Oh, Sierra's going after a bee. Oh, we got a bee in here. Uh-oh. Hang on a second. All right, get out of here, dude. Get out. All right, we're back, and the bee's out. All right, so anyway, this is what I use for fishing, and so I'll put information down in the video description below about this, and I encourage you to check it out. If you want to get into fly fishing, this is a really simple way to do it, because the casting motion is just a 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock and then back to 10 o'clock, and the fly lays down. And so you know, it's really easy to start with this. Another thing that I like about this compared to traditional fly fishing is that you don't have any slack line. Now, those that are familiar with working with a traditional fly rod, you zip out the line and then you're able to work it out and get out further, but you have that slack that you work with. Up in the high country, a lot of times that slack can get snagged on any sort of crumholds, which is a really nasty type of plant or tree or shrub, whatever you want to call it, that grows in the high country, and it just makes it impossible to try to navigate through stuff. So if that's on the shores, or if you got a lot of scrub brush on the shores of the lakes or rivers that you're fishing, you're gonna have a hard time with that slack line. So this doesn't have that, but like I said, you've got the drawback of not being able to get out as far. So it just really depends on what you want and what fits. This is great for backpacking. Like I said, it's a real minimalist setup, but with the minimalist setup, you do have limitations, so it's something to keep in mind. So I'll include some pictures of the fish that I've been able to catch with using Tenkara, and some of the places that I've been to over the years. And then if I can get out and go fish right now, then I'll get some shots from the East River as well, because that's where I'm at filming this at the moment. But it's super, super windy at the moment. So we'll see if I can get out or not. All right, thanks.